Christmas morning was supposed to be quiet. I had just left for the hospital with my 2 toddlers. My youngest had a fever that wouldn't break, and the older one clung to me like she knew something was off. I kissed my husband goodbye and didn't think twice about locking the apartment behind me. By noon, my phone was flooded with calls I didn't answer. I was pacing hospital corridors, distracted by my daughter's Ford drip and the distant sound of Christmas music from the nurse's radio. But back at home, something else was happening. My mother and both my sisters showed up at my apartment with their kids, and armfuls of groceries, balloons, tinsel, and matching sweaters. They had a key, the one I'd given Mom just in case years ago. But the twist? They brought a locksmith with them. While I was gone with 2 sick kids, they were planning to throw a Christmas party in my apartment. Without me. They changed the locks. They emptied my fridge. They rearranged the furniture. They opened the windows and blasted holiday music while sipping wine like queens in a castle that wasn't theirs. Until they unlocked the door with their brand new key and came face to face with something that made all 3 women scream. Something I had quietly planned for. You see, I knew my mother. I knew my sisters. And I knew that if I left even a crack in the door, they would push it wide open and make themselves at home again. Because they'd done it before. Last year, it was my eldest sister's baby shower. She used my living room because it had the best light. The year before that, Mom hosted Thanksgiving in my apartment while I was on a work trip, without even asking. They had always treated my space like a free Airbnb with better snacks. But this time, I was ready. 2 weeks ago, I overheard my sister whispering on the phone during a visit. Something about Christmas brunch at Lisa's. That's me, and don't worry, she'll be out with the kids. That night, I made a decision. I installed hidden cameras. I moved all the valuables. I cleared my bedroom. And then I did one more thing, something so bold it gave me chills. I hired a professional cleaning crew to trash the place. Not with garbage, but with visual chaos. Fake blood splattered on counters. Torn clothes scattered across the floor. Broken ornaments and red handprints on the mirrors. It looked like a crime scene. So when they turned that new key and opened the door, they thought they walked in on a massacre. My mom screamed first. It wasn't just a little yelp. It was a full, guttural, throat-tearing scream that echoed down the hallway. My sisters followed, gasping, clutching their children, dropping the gift bags and tinsel they came in with. The Christmas music still played from their speaker as they stared in horror at what looked like a blood-smeared living room. Shattered ornaments crunched under their boots. A ripped stuffed animal lay in the hallway like some poor victim. One of the kids began to cry. Another whispered, "Is Auntie Lisa okay?" They didn't call the police. They called me. 20 missed calls. Then 20 more. All from Mom and my sisters, alternating between frantic voicemails and panicked texts. "Lisa, are you okay? Why is your place destroyed? Where are you?" But I didn't answer. Not right away. I was at the hospital, feeding my toddler soup and calmly listening to the phone buzz nonstop in my purse. It buzzed, and buzzed, and buzzed. Then came the last message. "We changed the locks for nothing. We thought you'd be grateful. But you're insane. Who does this?" "Oh, Mom. The same person you raised. The same daughter you taught to never let herself be taken advantage of again." This time, I wasn't the fool. I was the mirror. By the time I returned home that evening, the hallways smelled faintly of panic and pine sol. The scene had been scrubbed, not by professionals, but by them. Gone were the fake blood smears and broken ornaments. The torn fabric had been bagged up. The handprints wiped away. Even the rug had been turned over, like erasing guilt with carpet fibers. But what they couldn't erase, the cameras, hidden in the bookshelf, in the teddy bear's eye, above the curtain rod. Every second had been recorded. My mother's self-righteous monologue as she ordered the locksmith to hurry up before she gets back. My sisters brag about getting the best wine with my fancy fridge budget. Their laughter as they shoved aside my family stockings to hang their own. I sat on the couch, kids asleep, and watched it all play back on my phone. I had proof. Not of a crime, but of a betrayal. The next morning, I sent a video. Just one clip, the locksmith finishing the new lock and handing over the keys. Caption: Unlawful entry. Your Christmas surprise? A legal one. Check your inbox. Then I sent the footage to our landlord. Because here's the thing, I don't need revenge that shouts. I need revenge that evicts. The fallout came faster than I expected. At 9:07 a.m., my phone rang. It was my landlord's assistant. Her tone was curt, legal. We received disturbing footage regarding unauthorized entry into your unit. Are you safe? Yes, I said calmly. But I'd like to press for trespassing and lock tampering. She didn't even hesitate. Understood. You'll be contacted by legal. The tenants in the video will be banned from the property effective immediately. By 10:12 a.m., I received a flurry of messages from Mom. You're overreacting. We just wanted to make Christmas special. This is going to tear the family apart. Then finally, you've always been dramatic. You'll regret this. That's when I knew I was doing the right thing. For years, my family used guilt as a leash. Don't be selfish. You owe us. We're blood. You can't turn your back. But they never thought about what they owed me. Respect. Boundaries. Consent. I used to shrink at the thought of confronting them. I'd imagine my mom's disappointed face, my sister's mocking whispers. But now, I wasn't shrinking. I was standing. And their outrage wasn't a storm to fear. It was proof that their grip on me was breaking. The locks were changed once. But this time, so was I. The restraining order hearing was quiet. Mom didn't show. Neither did my sisters. Just their lawyer, fidgety, defensive, trying to downplay the footage as a misunderstanding and frame their Christmas invasion as a well-meaning surprise gone wrong. But the judge didn't blink. He watched the video in silence, pausing only once, when my sister kicked aside my son's drawing taped to the wall. The judge rewound that moment, played it again, let it linger in the room like smoke. Then he looked at me. You have children? Yes, Your Honor. And they live in this home? Yes. His gavel came down like a final note. Temporary restraining order granted. 30 days minimum. You may file for an extension. That was it. No shouting. No drama. Just a cold, clean line drawn in law. I walked out of that courthouse lighter than I'd felt in years. No more silent suffering. No more pretending things were okay to keep the peace. I wasn't doing this to punish them, not really. I was doing this to protect what I built. Later that evening, my son crawled into my lap with a candy cane and asked, "Are we safe now?" I hugged him tight and whispered, "Not just safe, baby. Free." The 30-day order was just the beginning. Because by the time the paperwork reached my mother, my landlord had already removed their names from the building access list. Their duplicate keys were void. The lobby camera alerts were set to notify me and the front desk if they even stepped inside the building. My mother tried calling. 27 missed calls. Then came the texts. "So you're really doing this? After everything we've done for you? You're choosing outsiders over your own blood?" I stared at the last one for a long time. My fingers hovered over the screen. And then I typed, "I'm choosing my children over chaos." Send. I didn't hear back after that. But that silence? It wasn't empty. It was peaceful. I focused on rebuilding the kind of holiday I never had as a kid. We made cocoa bombs, watched cheesy movies, built gingerbread houses that looked like they survived earthquakes, and laughed about it. The kids didn't miss the noise, the drama, or the toxic traditions. Neither did I. Every day that passed, I felt more grounded, more whole, not just because I won something, but because I reclaimed something. My home, my voice, my right to decide who gets to be part of my peace. And they weren't on that list anymore. New Year's Eve arrived like a quiet apology. No fireworks, no parties. Just calm, warmth. My kids in fuzzy socks, dancing in the living room. A casserole baking in the oven. And a playlist of old songs that didn't remind me of pain anymore. At 11:53 p.m., I lit a single candle on the kitchen counter. Not for celebration, but for closure. I pulled out a sealed envelope from the drawer. Inside was a letter I had written weeks ago. Not to my mother, Not to my sisters. To myself. The woman I used to be, scared, accommodating, constantly shrinking to fit their version of family. And the woman I had become, steady, fierce, free. I read it in silence, then folded it up and placed it next to the candle. "You made it," I whispered. At 12 a.m., the city outside erupted into cheers. But inside, it was just us. My son looked up and grinned. "Is it midnight?" "It is," I said. He raised his sparkling cider. "To the new year?" "To the new life," I smiled. Because this time, I wasn't walking into a year where I had to brace myself. I was walking and standing tall. Not waiting to be included. Not begging to be seen. But finally home.